You're welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yes, hi everyone. Yes, my name is Dr. Abiola Farinde Wu. I first want to thank the African Scholar Forum for inviting me to talk this afternoon. I am immensely grateful to be in community with you all. I also would like to congratulate the 2023 African graduates. Your accomplishment is a fulfillment of our ancestors' dreams and hopes for us all. So additional congratulations also go to this year's Ubuntu Award recipient, Mrs. Cecilia Lizotte. Your efforts and actions during the pandemic show the love and light that exists within you for your community. So thank you, thank you, thank you. Now, as a qualitative storyteller, I would like to begin my talk with a short story that centers Ubuntu and community. See, I am a child of Nigeria, and I spent the first few years of my life in my homeland. In Nigeria, it was a day like any other. The sun and God shine bright in Lagos as they do most days. I was an infant in the arms of my father as my mother drove us to her mother's home. On this unassuming day, unbeknownst to us, tragedy was imminent. Along a desolate Nigerian highway, my mother lost control of our vehicle and the car careened into a nearby tree. During this time period, child safety car seats were not required. So during this violent accident, I was thrown from our vehicle and landed in the middle of the road. Both my parents remained unconscious in the car, and it was not until another couple drove by and spotted me, a baby, in the middle of the road that aid was rendered. In the aftermath of this accident, I remarkably only sustained a few cuts and bruises. My father sustained a concussion, and my mother was in a coma for 8 days. Now, these people who had never met us before, without hesitation, came to our rescue. They rushed all three of us to the hospital and remained with us that night. And their actions represent our known and unknown community, those who we choose to be in community with, and those who organically build community with us because of a shared belief and hope in humanity. Now, Ubuntu is often associated with the phrase, I am because we are. Ubuntu is intimately, innately connected to humanness, capturing our bonds to one another. It harnesses our interconnectedness to each other through relationships and survival. According to Battle, Ubuntu comes from a linguistic group of sub-Saharan languages known as Bantu. Both words, Ubuntu and Bantu, can be recognized by the common root of untu, human. The prefix ba denotes the plural form for humanity. In the spirituality common to sub-Saharan Africa, there is a direct relationship between human being and God's being. Ubuntu therefore also includes a theological understanding in which all beings are known through the category of personhood. Dillard and Neal convey that the African concept of Ubuntu describes a symbiotic and cooperative relationship between people that provide the basis for community making from an African standpoint. Also, Battle puts forth 5 tenets that captures Ubuntu. Number 1, self-identity is not optimally formed through competition, but rather through cooperation. Number 2, being in community requires skill to see it and create it. Number 3, the notion of Ubuntu expands Western horizons, providing a counter practice of community rooted deeply in African cultural productions. Number 4, Ubuntu deepens our spirituality. And number 5, last but not least, number 5, the development of Ubuntu also requires the development of a communal self, both of which require practice. Now, a wise woman once told me that her friend told her that community is very expensive. That is, community requires time, energy, effort, emotion, travel, and at times, monetary commitments. Now, I ruminate on this thought and I concluded she is correct. Community is expensive, but it is absolutely worth it. Community asks a lot of us, but as my father always says, no man or woman or person is an island. As human beings, we need community. And I ask you, where would you be if it were not for community? Might you too be stranded on a highway somewhere in the middle, in need of emergency aid? I often ask myself, where would I be without community? Who would I have become without all those people who gave their resources for my betterment? And now, as a fully formed, self-actualized African woman, I am in a position to give back. And I do so freely. While we give so much to our community, so much is given back to us that sustains our souls, our spirits, and personhood. See, there is reciprocity in community, and light sees light and uses that same light for growth. So I encourage you, go boldly out into the world and forge light, forge hope, forge community. In Yoruba, my birth tongue, the word community translates as awujo, adubo. In this context, I came to understand the necessity of community. My community feeds me when I am hungry. They house me when I am displaced. They clothe me when I am bare. They taught me the ways of our people when I was lost in the wilderness. And they loved me when I was in distress. The Western world can learn a lot from the community-minded culture of the continent of Africa. See, we Africans are a divine racial and ethnic group. In our communities, we are nurturers, skilled at community organizing and planning. We fundamentally understand that the success of one of us is our collective success. And with this cultural guiding star, we lift up the next generation. So to the 2023 graduates, it is your responsibility to go forth and continue the spirit and heart work of Ubuntu, of gathering together in opposition to oppressive forces to achieve our full humanity and freedom. Dillard calls us to remember the things we were taught to forget. And through Ubuntu, your identity and being is wrapped up in mine. We are one. And without community, without I in you and you in me, we are aimless and adrift. The ethics of Ubuntu tethers us to each other, to a collective goal and purpose, and cultivates a radical love for humanity. It is in this community that we are awakened. In this diverse community, we see our commonalities and recognize that we are more alike than different, all striving for love, life, and liberation. For me, the idea of Ubuntu, I am because we are, is vital, and it helps me guard and sustain my hope and survival in this life. Community is central to hope, justice, and life. The quest for hope, justice, and a better world requires the collective strength of community. We must find, create, build, and nurture community. It is vital that we maintain and deepen our connections to the communities that sustain us in the work of hope and justice. Ubuntu reminds us that community is fundamental, not only to advancing justice in the world, but to our own human existence. Now more than ever, when our world is plagued with poverty, gun violence, polarizing political agendas, racial and gender injustices, staggering economic disparities, and other atrocities, we must come together as a community to fight against these present day evils. So, my sisters, my brothers, and family members, I implore you to connect, extend your hands, and remain deeply rooted in the life-giving soil of community. Because, as you know, we are better together. And the metaphorical I am only thrives because of the collective we are. Now, I would like to close with a poem from Langston Hughes. The title of this poem is, I Dream a World. I dream a world where man, no other man will scorn, where love will bless the earth and peace its paths adorn. I dream a world where all will know sweet freedom's way, where greed no longer saps the soul, nor avarice blights our day. A world I dream where Black or white, whatever race you be, will share the bounties of the earth and every man is free. Where wretchedness will hang its head and joy, like a pearl, attend the needs of all mankind. Of such I dream my world. Thank you so much, guys. I'm so happy to be here with you.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Professor Farinde, who this was very interesting and then inspiring as well as educative. Thank you so much for those wonderful points. So we now want to proceed by inviting Abiodun Bayewu to introduce the Ubuntu Award for 2023. Abi?
Good evening, everyone. Thanks for the singular honor to introduce Mr. Sylvia Lizot to you. Sylvia Lizot was born and raised in Nigeria and came to the United States in 1999. She opened Suya Joint in 2012, a Roxbury restaurant serving Nigerian and West African dishes. Sylvia Lizot is a visionary business leader and entrepreneur known for exceptional leadership skills and groundbreaking contributions to the culinary industry. As the CEO of Suya Joint, a prominent and highly successful restaurant in the Boston area, she has revolutionized the way people experience African cuisine. During the COVID-19 pandemic, the Suya Joint restaurant, through the leadership of Cecilia Lizot, serviced frontline workers at the Boston Medical Center with over 1,000 meals to help alleviate the constraints created by the pandemic. Dean, I introduce to you Ms. Cecilia Lizot.
All right, I welcome you, Barkisa and Abiodun, to come and join me in presenting this prestigious award to a prestigious and impactful community member, Cecilia Lizot, CEO of Suya Joint Restaurant. Please, Ubuntu means I am because you are a person, is a person who are the people. Ubuntu, the concept of common humanity and oneness. This Ubuntu Award recognizes your impactful contributions to community engagement of the African diaspora in the greater Boston area. Congratulations. Thank you. You want to take some comment? Oh, Lord. All right. Good evening, everybody. My name is Cecilia Lozad. I am originally from Plateau State in Nigeria. And true story, growing up in a tiny little community, my grandmother would just cook on Saturdays, strictly on Saturdays. She would wake up as early as 6 a.m. cooking food. By noon, it's all gone. So at the age of 9, the little Cecilia, I would just go outside. So that was, she wanted me to eat. I have to put in my labor. Just go in my tiny little 9-year-old voice, Abinchia Nuna, meaning food is ready. And at that point, I didn't even understand what was going on. But just everybody from the community would just walk down with their little plates. And they're buying, mind you, they're purchasing, and then the food is all gone. So yes, it is all about community. And as I'm here in Boston, I think a lot of the times I've gone into nursing because I'm a people person as well. But then as I look back, I just continuously remember what my grandmother used to do in the community. She did a lot. She did also a lot. So reflecting back, yes, it was kind of like child labor, but then now I'm like so excited because so this is amazing. And yes, COVID hit. The main goal for Suya Joint is just to globalize, to have as many people as possible have the taste of African cuisine. But then a little story about when COVID now started, it was in the beginning of the week where my kitchen was all filled up with food, and then boom, 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 close, close, close. And I'm like, all right, what am I gonna do with all the groceries that we just purchased for continuation? So just myself with a few of my staff, I'm like, so what do I do? I was more than happy just from the generosity that my grandmother has taught me, was just gonna give it to my staff. Then we started digging into it a little bit, working closely with Off Their Plates. Is an organization where they didn't want the restaurants to close, but what they were doing was also raising funds to now save restaurants while we now produce food to like take it to frontline workers, doctors, nurses, those that haven't gone to go and see their families. So I was one of the first partners with them, and I filled out the application. Interestingly enough, they're like, how many meals can you produce in a day? I said, oh yeah, 5,000. I didn't even know what 5,000 is. So they reached out to me. They're like, is it a restaurant or a catering company? I'm like, no, it's a restaurant. So then I now said, okay, maybe we could do 100 meals per day. But yes, 1,000 was what we were able to produce in one day, and I was like, oh, wow. So now looking back, it's like, yeah, you know what, I did it. So this is amazing. It's all about bringing stuff.
Thank you so much, Mrs. Cecilia, the CEO of Suya Joint, for your support, especially during the COVID-19 pandemic, when people needed support the most. Thank you so much. We really appreciate it. Going forward, we'll now be introducing the Carlos Lopez Economic Transformation Summer Enrichment Awardees by Dean Idozi.
Okay. We have certificates. I mentioned a little bit earlier about, the award founded by the ambassador to the African Union, the first female woman ambassador to the African Union. Her name is Mohammed Fiari, and she was a keynote speaker at one of our first Africa Day events back in 2018. We were all, just really enthralled by, her value, her impact, the kind of work that she was doing internationally and in Africa. She also seeded, this award that we call the Ubuntu African Award for students either graduating or conducting summer enrichment. And so this year, when Carlos Lopez did the same, he donated his honorarium of $1,000 to us. He dedicated it to two students who would receive the award of the Carlos Lopez Award in Economic Transformation of Africa, and it's a summer enrichment award, earning $600 for each award. So it's my pleasure to give the first award to Lillian Elekwachi. Is she here? Lillian a PhD student in the School for the Environment, studying environmental justice and water and sanitation issues in the continent of Africa. We really enjoyed reading your application statement, Lillian, and congratulations on receiving the Carlos Lopez Economic Transformation Award this year. Can I have them join us? Of course you can. The award is, for family members and loved ones as well.
One there. Next one, yeah.
Thank you. And which one that we are recognized with Dr. Michael Glusty. Congratulations to him as well. Congratulations. Do you want to say anything?
Myself and my faculty, I want to say thank you for this award. Actually, I was not expecting it. I was excited when I received the email that, I'm part of the people that won the award. So thank you so much for this recognition and for the efforts you put in place in making this happen. I really appreciate it. Thank you.
Thank you. And we had two awardees this year. Our second recipient of the Carlos Lopez Economic Transformation
Summer Enrichment Award is Lena Matsood, who is a PhD candidate in the Global Governance and Human Security program. Lena, please, can you come up and receive your award? Lena is working on a global governance issue of African impact, as well as other global South countries, including India. But it's her African case that gets her the award. She's looking at Uganda, and she's looking at the impact of the ILO as an organization and its engagement with Uganda in respect to the informal economy and domestic workers, and especially women workers. And so your proposal and statement was fascinating. We think that this award in economic African transformation will help a little bit in advancing your research. Congratulations. Thank you. Lena's research director and dissertation supervisor is myself. Yeah. I take the award. Congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Absolutely.
And thank you, I'm not sure who has selected me for this award, but I really want to thank them. When I was writing my dissertation proposal, I didn't know that I'll apply for this award because there were 3 cases and Uganda is one of them because of the high incidence of informal economy. And while I was defending my proposal, so the committee, like the chair and the committee members, they advised me, are you sure it would be manageable? And I said yes, because if ILO has conventions on the domestic workers and the home-based workers, then why Uganda is like the highest incidence of the informal economy? And then this award came, and I was so excited that with the help of this award, I'll network with the experts. And so that's why I'm very thankful whosoever has reviewed my application and picked it. Thank you so much. Thank you.
Which actually, I mean, Amadou, you can come back up, but I do want to thank the selection committee, Abiodun, Abby, Abby, Balkisa, myself, as the selection committee. So, thank you for your service. Thank you.
All right, thank you so much, Professor Edoze, and then congratulations once again to Lilian Elekwati and then Lena Matsood. We will now have Professor Edoze on board as well as Dr. Modorin Banwo.
Yes, Professor Banwo, thank you for your service. Please join me in giving out the awards today. Thank you. Professor Banwo is our faculty affiliate with the African Scholars Forum, but he is an assistant professor with the College of Education and Human Development and the Department of Leadership.
Yes.
Leadership in Education. He's just really, great guy, great supporter for the African Scholars Forum. And so we're really, really, grateful for your work this year.
Thank you. I was just coming to see you.
All right. Okay, so we are giving out awards. Marcus, do you want to? Okay. Thank you. All right. So we're going to ask each awardee to come up, receive the award, shake hands of Professor Banwo and myself, take a picture, and go back down. Okay, and we have about 7 of you. And our first recipient of the Ubuntu recognition for graduating Africanist scholar is Dorcas Shambi. receiving their masters in aging research and aging policy with our Department of Gerontology. Yes. Dorcas is a really fascinating student, very supportive of the Africa Scholars Forum this year. So thank you, Dorcas, and congratulations.
Let's get you in there.
To the middle. Thank you. Congratulations, congratulations. Okay. All right, thank you. Our second recipient is Lillian Sivander, who is receiving a master's in global governance and human security. Lillian, congratulations. It was, Lillian has been wonderful across program. There you go.
Oh, fantastic.
She's staying because she's going on to the PhD program. Congratulations.
You wanna hold your certificate? Perfect,
Thank you. And our third recipient is the one and only Amadou Jallo. Amadou is receiving a certificate in graduating in the Masters in Global Governance. Congratulations, Amadou. Yes, let's put your sash on.
Thank you.
Absolutely, it's great. Congratulations, Amadou. To the PhD program in government. So we are not losing him, or else we won't have a moderator. All right, this one who gets this award, a very special award, absolutely, is Balkisa Diallo, who is actually like human security.
Fantastic. Doctor, I mean, Dr. Yetta.
Absolutely, Dr. Balkisa Diallo.
It's the colleague of
Right here. She's a colleague who is graduating and going into the work world. Yes, I'm sorry. Fantastic, congratulations. You know, great job.
Thank you, doctor.
And we have our undergraduate students as well, and our first graduate recipient is Mariam Amino Mukata. Getting Bachelor of Science in computer engineering. Look at that. Congratulations.
The first move.
Yes. Marianne, this is yours. Congratulations. And our last recipient is also an undergraduate student getting her Bachelor of Science, and her name is Danielle Ampopo. Danielle, what are you getting now? Degree in Bachelor's in Biology. All these young women scientists.
Wow.
Congratulations. Congratulations. Okay, well, that's it. Congratulations to all of you. Thank you, Dr. Benwood. Back to work, Amadou.
All right, Congratulations to all the graduates.
And to you.
Okay, we will now be inviting Professor Idowu back to give us like a
Well,
closing remark.
I'm just gonna say congratulations, congratulations, congratulations to all of you. And why don't we just transition this ceremony into food, networking and hugging and more congratulations. See you at graduation though. We have another graduation ceremony, college-wide graduation ceremony on Monday at 4:30 in, I think, the University Hall. And of course, the big graduation for graduate students is on Wednesday, the 24th, where we have the pudding ceremony as well. And on the 25th is the big undergraduate ceremony right here on the lawn at UMass Boston. So, you know, it's a whole celebration next week, you know, for you as the graduates. So congratulations again.
All right, on the agenda is food.
And music.
And music as well. All right, thank you so much.
And thank you to our online audiences.
Yes.
As well.
Thank you so much. Those that are beautiful. Very proud of you. So.